Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, where I'm very happy to have a very cool character here in our studio. He's been here before, but it's been a little while, and I haven't had the chance to talk to him. Steve Fisher joins us with the Maui Ski Bus. Welcome. It's good to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
So I've got a lot to ask you about. First of all, we got to go back a few years to when you started all this and your original intentions. You originally were looking to go and see a whole bunch of ski resorts. And you did that, but you've done so much else. Talk to me about when you were first thinking of this, coming up with this idea in the first place.
I was living on Maui, and the ski resorts were getting a big November snow in 2010, and I was frustrated and wanted to ski all these different places. And instead of skiing, getting the idea of skiing one resort 100 days, I flipped it around, and I wanted to do one day at 100 different resorts. And that's when I planted the seed in 2012. I was able to ski 104 different ski resorts in one season.
Good grief.
Yeah.
That's a lot of travel time.
Yes, yes. A lot of driving, a lot of dangerous driving, because I drove a lot at night.
Yeah.
And so deer, elk, moose, and
winter conditions.
Winter conditions, and all the way up to Canada and down to Taos, New Mexico, and out. Luckily I've never hit anything, knock on wood, somewhere.
Right.
So that's real dangerous driving at night.
And it's not the only time you've done this. You've gone out again and done essentially the same thing. You've gone and tried to get more resorts, right?
In 2015, I returned and did it again and added yoga into the mix. And
I went to yoga studios.
Yeah, going around visiting and writing about the different yoga studios.
How, when you look at all this, how did you make this happen? You got to think about the logistics of it from a financial perspective, and from just like leaving your whole life and doing something like this. How does one do that?
Just go out and do it. And that's just what
That's what you do. You just do it.
Went out and did it. I bought Maui Ski Bus and built it out to live inside, and I brought some dogs with me, and so the dogs were always a big hit, and made a bunch of stickers up and passed stickers out to everybody.
And made friends everywhere you went.
And luckily made friends a lot of places.
That's a big part of this, because a lot of those ski resorts are like, dude, free skiing, hang out, live in the parking lot, have fun.
Right. Yeah, Vail Resorts was really, they embraced it. Deer Valley embraced it. Wow. Jackson Hole embraced it. Now Whistler embraced it. Amazing. So once I got the big names, Squaw Valley and Mammoth, they all embraced it. Kind of everything else was like a domino effect. All the other smaller resorts and then the yoga studios were really like, this is kind of different Maui Yoga Bus, because Maui Ski Bus has a little bit of an alias.
Yeah. It kind of fits a little more, but Maui Yoga Bus. Yeah. But I guess once you've done it and you've kind of got that momentum.
Yeah.
But this is, of the things you've done, I think the least crazy. The one that I find to be the most, I have to say it's crazy. You windsurfed from LA to Hawaii by yourself?
Yes.
No support boat, nothing?
No support boat, totally solo. That was in 1997. That's a photo of North Shore Molokai with a 2,000-foot waterfall in the background.
Wow.
So I've actually used this craft quite a bit. That's called the Slippa 2. It's 18 feet. And I can actually crawl down and sleep inside of it. So in comparison, Maui Ski Bus, living in that, it's like a mansion. Yeah. Compared to living inside that.
Oh my gosh, wasn't this kind of a little scary? I mean, you got sharks and all kinds of other things out there. I mean, how do you do that? How do you negotiate that kind of, loneliness and fears that must come upon you?
Well, I accepted the worst case scenario, and I worked it up from there. And the worst case scenario is I didn't make it, and I died out there. And you have to accept it when you do something like that. And I think everyone that does something on an extreme level, that's what they have to accept, is that you may not make it. And from there, you work up and use that as your foundation.
Wow. I mean, I just think all the things that could happen. You could have lost your wind, your sail. You could have got damaged. You could have hit rogue waves. I mean, anything could happen. Bad weather.
Bad weather, yeah. I embrace actually storms. because there's wind, and so that craft was designed for big seas and a lot of wind. So I've been in 20, 25-foot waves and 30-knot winds and daytime, nighttime. So I can actually embrace that. What I don't embrace is no wind.
Yeah, and that would be even worse.
Yeah, that to some degree it's a psychological, is that you have no wind and you can't really go anywhere.
How about the effort to stand that long and hold a sail like that? That's got to be by itself kind of a Herculean feat.
Yeah, that was a little bit. Hence, I did a lot of yoga when I was on dust slipper 2. I would figure out some ways to do stretches in this, and then the hatch itself that covers the enclosure, I put a little seat on it, so I could kind of half sit, half stand.
Wow! So
it did take a little bit of that tension away.
Oh my goodness, that is crazy! What an amazing feat!
Yeah.
Guinness Book of World Records for that.
Yes. Yes.
That is spectacular. Talk about the emotion of finishing that, of knowing that you accomplished something like that.
That was actually, the focus was a handful of sand. So when I first got the idea, I visualized a handful of sand sitting on the beach in a particular spot on Maui, and sitting on the beach and taking a handful of sand and rub it onto my face. And when I landed, everybody wanted to come up and congratulate me, and I politely parted them away because I hadn't finished.
Yeah.
Until I sat down and took the handful of sand and covered my face.
Wow. These adventures of yours, they always involve, doing some good too.
Yes.
Meeting people, sharing a message. A lot of that has been about litter, because you've been out there, you've seen that, the garbage island that's floating out there in the Pacific. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's kind of a sad in one hand, because when was out in the middle of the ocean, to come across a beautiful Byzantine ocean and then see plastic bags and litter, and when plastic degrades in the ocean, it goes on a molecular level. It actually gets into the food chain that gets into the fish that we as humans eat. So I know it doesn't really sound very appetizing, but when you eat fish, you could potentially be eating plastic. So when I saw that out there, I wanted to take plastic and pick the garbage up with me, but I wasn't able to in my craft.
Right, you have no room for all that.
Yeah, and then when I flipped it around and was driving around with Maui Ski Bus and see litter on the sides of the row, and I really want to start a momentum where we make America beautiful again. Yeah. Because there's a lot of litter on the side of the road, cigarette butts, and you can just stand anywhere and just watch people walk by the litter. And so I got this idea where you could just take one piece a day. Yeah. Just one simple piece. Pick up one piece a day and dispose of it properly. So I came up with this idea, combined with the slip to the ocean and the mountains and the snow with Maui Ski Bus, and I call it Top Litter. And the idea is that you just get a habit of picking up one piece of litter a day and disposing of it properly. Wow, that's all it takes. Simple. It is simple, and you wonder why people don't. It is kind of hopefully our audience will, and I've embraced Vail Resorts, and I'm trying to get them to get it into their employee program to step it outside of the employee and get all of their skiers and snowboarders to do it. Yeah, because if you can activate that many people, you've really done something. There's no doubt. Think of 1,000 people doing it. Yeah, and the numbers are 365. It's really an exponential when you start something like that. Yeah. I want you to talk about what you're doing now, where you're living, what's going on. Where are you now in your life, Steve? So, well, I still live on Maui, so I'm kind of an anomaly, is that I run a ski adventure from Maui. And when I explain that, just like everyone's like, what? It's kind of interesting. But I'm a frustrated ski bum living on a tropical island, so I combined the two and became a tropical ski bum. And so Maui Ski Bus 3, this is the third adventure, so the first one was 12, then 15, and now 17. I am just kind of going around and revisiting friends, and it's kind of a lower key operation for me. I'm not driving as much, I'm not spending as much time behind the internet, which is, for me, it's a little bit more comfortable. Yeah, there's a little more about you this time. Well, right? I don't want to be selfish about it, but yeah, a little lower key. I like this time around.
little inner peace and a little, I think that makes good sense. Do you suppose you're gonna do this a few more times in your lifetime?
One of the things that I love to do is I'm a big mountain biker. That's one of the things. I race the Xterra on Maui.
Right.
And I train with a parrot, and I have a 3-foot-long parrot that rides
on your shoulder.
That rides on my shoulder, yeah. And what I would love to do is have Maui Ski Bus, as another alias, Maui Mountain Bike Bus, come up here into the mountain ski areas, mountain bike areas in the summer season, and a mountain bike with my parrot.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to become and stay a 2-season resort, and we've come a long ways towards that with both, with the stand-up paddle boards and, of course, mountain bikes. But I think bringing a little light back to it again, Steve Fisher, that's perfect for you. I look forward to that.
Yeah, it would be really fun. My parrot would love it up here.
What's his name, by the way?
His name is Hi'ilani.
Hi'ilani.
Yeah, and he loves mountain biking, he loves people, and he especially loves kids, little kids.
Yeah. And you're going to get to meet a whole lot of them again as you take him around the world. I want to thank you, man, for coming in and sharing with us again. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, it's a joy.
Where are you heading next? Where's the next stop?
I'm here until through this weekend, and then I go down to Snowbird and Alta, and then north to Snow Basin. I got Deer Valley on Tuesday, which is a great mountain, and they just had the World Championships of freestyle over there, which was awesome to watch, and their operation is great. And then up to this place called Jackson Hole.
Oh boy! Yeah,
a little backcountry, little side country in Jackson, and
that'll be fun.
Targhee and Sun Valley, and then I'll be over at Aspen for the World Cup Finals.
Oh, perfect!
And then from there, down to Telluride, which is another fantastic location.
Oh, yeah.
And then one of the ones that kind of hits me right here is Silverton.
Oh yeah,
I really like Silverton.
I do too.
Yeah, that's a great
spot.
That's a real skier.
Yep.
And I say the Silverton, and I work with Jen and Aaron down there, that if you feel like you're kind of like a really, really good skier, don't go to Silverton. Silverton is more of a mountain that somebody goes with respect first, because of all the avalanche dangers.
Yeah.
And then you can be a really good, but you got to have a lot of respect there.
Absolutely, and you don't want to diminish how you feel right now.
No, not at all. You don't want to be caught in a slide or caught us a slide on somebody else.
Wow.
Down there.
Well, I wish you the very best as you continue your travels. So we'll find you over here. You'll be at Park City for the next couple of days.
Yeah, be in the Park City area, Maui Ski Bus.
All right, make sure you stop and say hi to Steve Fisher.
Yeah.
And then over to Deer Valley, over to Brighton, you said, and
up to Jackson, and then north, and then
heading south.
Heading south, and then Mammoth and Tahoe, and then back to Maui.
Well, Mammoth will have snow for a long time, so you probably
they got a lot of snow.
You probably ski summer down there.
Yeah, there'll be
no
Mammoth and Squall will probably be open, and maybe even Snowbird too, all until July 4th.
Oh, I think we're going to make July 4th this year.
I think July 4th is the big goal, which is great for the ski resorts because they've been hurting over the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah, collect those July 4th ski July 4th T-shirts, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you as always for being here, Steve. It's great to have you come through. Make sure next time as well, as we look for Maui Ski Bus number 3. Yeah. Right? It's been fun to have you here.
And take one piece. Pick up one piece of litter a day on a daily basis. Get the kids to get involved in it.
That's all it takes.
A little competition with the kids. It'd be kind of fun if the kids were starting to brag. I picked up 10 pieces. That would be great.
It doesn't have to just be one.
It doesn't have to be one.
You start with a minimum of one.
One a day.
That's what we're asking you to do. It's easy. Steve Fisher does it. You can do it too. And of course, you can see him and say hi and check out the Maui Ski Bus. It'll be over at Park City for the next couple of days. We'll be back with more here on the Mountain Morning Show right after the break.